dream season is now complete. The Golden State Warriors are the 2015 NBA champions. Their first title in 40 years. And how sweet it must be for those crazy loyal Bay Area fans.
Sheesh. Welcome to the Bay Talk podcast. I'm Jay.
I'm Will.
Yo, it's been a minute,
I know.
but we finally got a new episode for y'all. Let's talk about the topics we got for this season.
We focused a lot on basketball and the Warriors specifically because the NBA season's still going on. But as you could tell from the date of this video, the NBA Finals finished. Congrats to the Bucks. First title in 50 years. We know how that felt.
CP3 choked.
Yeah, CP3 going to the Lakers. He's ring chasing now.
For real, he don't care about the Suns.
No. So with that being said, we're going to start focusing on different topics because it's the off season for the NBA. So we're not just going to talk about the Warriors. We're going to start branching off into different ideas for videos and episodes for the show. We're going to be doing things like vlogs, tier lists, maybe even movie or game reviews if we feel like it for the summer. I'm excited. What is going to be our main topic today, Jay?
So we're going to be talking about the resale culture and UAs. Can you explain what UAs are?
Materials, the actual construction of the shoe, the foams that they use, everything is straight from the source. So you are getting authentic materials and authentic pieces from the shoe.
Some things may not look right. There could be like a signature on the shoe and it might be placed differently.
It might be a little off-centered.
Yeah.
Placement of like the stitching might be maybe a couple centimeters off.
Well, the current state of the culture is like kind of at a weird dilemma right now. Do people like support the UAs or are we still messing with resale?
We were kind of in a crossroads here. We're at a breaking point to where I'm not paying thousands of dollars for a pair of shoes. That's just me. I think I can speak for Jay as well.
Even like 300, I won't even pay 300.
I'm not paying $500 for a pair of Kobe's.
If there's afterpay, maybe I'll do it. But if it's like straight up 500 out the door, nope, I'm not risking my rent money for that.
You can't even really call it a culture anymore. It's more like just ripping people off.
I feel like it depends on like the type of person, you know. People who are actually in sneaker culture, they'll actually buy the resale shoe. But then for the UAs, they're just looking for like the look.
Exactly. It's like, well, you got the shoe. Like, who cares where you got it from, honestly? That's like the whole point of a UA. It's basically just so that you don't have to break bank to get the shoe. Isn't that crazy? Not to like get too off topic, but isn't that crazy that like NMDs and shit are like not even that popular anymore?
They've been out of it for like a minute.
Yeah, like I thought of it, like dude, everybody had NMDs.
Or like even like Ultra Boost, those are still in the store if you still want them. But back in like 2012, 2014, like
man, those first Ultra Boosts were flying off the shelves. Those things were going crazy.
So what is your experience on UAs?
So I took a trip to the Philippines right before COVID hit. If we were there 2 to 2.5 weeks longer, we would have been stuck there. So thank God we got out of there and we came back to the States. And then so while we were there, we hit up this mall that had a bunch of outlets. Shout out Green Hills Mall.
You know, just Asia in general, you know, that's where all our shoes come from. So either way, we're still getting like the same shoe.
Exactly. So we went there and then they literally got the shoe, the material like straight from the factory. They were showing us like the boost and everything, and it was identical to the Ultra Boost I was wearing on my feet as I was looking at the shoe. It felt and looked exactly like it. And I was like, this is insane. Obviously, like the UAs might have a little bit of, like we talked about, they have little errors on it. It's not made by someone at Nike that's getting it checked by somebody to approve it.
Yeah.
So they obviously have little mistakes on it. I only spent like $45-50 USD.
That's fucked. I mean,
Yeah.
once I saw you with your UA Yeezys, like once I went to the Philippines a couple months later, like I had to go cop this. I got the same exact one as you. They're like hiding in like my closet right now because I don't ever want to wear them. I remember I wore them in front of my friend. He was like, "Yo, you got the Yeezys?" Like, damn. And
You feel hella powerful.
bro, I'm like, "Yep, I do got Yeezys."
Yeah, it's like,
and
and then they ask like where you got them. You're like, oh, I just know a guy.
no, I just be like, "Yo, I got these from the Philippines," and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god." But yeah.
Automatically think it's fake. Have you seen like all those pages on like Instagram where they're all on like WhatsApp?
Yeah,
They're all from like China and like their pairs are like insanely accurate.
I know they be having like the latest sneaker right
Like,
before
right
it's about to
there.
drop. Yo, you can just cop it right there. $100, like
Yeah.
easy cop.
A good YouTube channel to follow for UAs, his name is Minor Kicks. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's one of the guys that really introduced me to like UAs and stuff, and he really explains the whole culture. On his IG post, he even tells you where to cop or where he gets the shoes that he shows in the videos.
Damn, bro's
So
trying to create a whole culture for the UAs. Just be like, yo, if you want to be on this side, come over here. All these people walking around Valley Fair Mall in San Jose. Do you think people really give a shit about like whether it's a UA or a resell?
Do you remember back in like middle school when someone had a fake or a knockoff, it was clear that they had a fake or a knockoff, and you'd be like, dude, what are those? What is that?
That's in high school though. People like actually care about that shit.
It's-
Every day, seeing those people like wear those UAs, you're like shaking your head.
Because it's all about like holding up to like your image. But honestly, in 2021, bro, I really don't think people care as much knowing that there's another cheaper option that's pretty much the same thing. Like, I've seen people with UAs online and I'm like, dude, I don't blame them. You know what I mean? I'm not paying $500+ for a Jordan.
It's so crazy, like after getting our Yeezys, that like how big the culture has gotten.
Now it's just like, dude, why even bother with resale? Do you think people really care anymore where they get it from as long as they get it? I don't think people really give a fuck anymore.
Well, in my opinion, I'm for resale sneakers. I feel like they show like worth ethic in people, how well you know about sneaker culture or even just like fashion culture. And it shows like how much you fuck with the brand if you get like the real sneaker.
Like saved up for that and got it.
Yeah, and you really like know about the shoe.
I feel you because like I want the real sneaker. Like I want it because it's like I got the real one. I didn't take any shortcuts to get it. You have no doubts in your mind that it's like, dude, this is the one I've been wanting for so long. I'm for real sneakers. I just don't like the resellers and like the scalping and the overprice.
It seems like those type of people are like scared if they don't have like the real sneakers, they're gonna like drown in their drip, you know?
To go buy like 5, 6, 10 pairs and then reselling it. Are you on the side of, okay, like that's a hustle, that's an investment? Or do you think, nah, like, bro, just wear your shoes? Why are you basically taking everybody's pairs just to resell it for triple the price? What's your opinion on that?
Obviously, I don't respect like people who just like cop hella pairs. Like you can have 2 pairs.
Cool. I'm cool with getting 2 pairs of the same shoe, but not like 5. I don't know. My first opinion, like scalping for shoes, bro, it's like PS5s and Xboxes. What are you doing?
No, those are ridiculous.
You're the reason why the game is so messed up.
That's why like people are even going back to console anymore because of the resellers.
People are sticking to their current gens.
For real.
We're not.
I'm not leaving.
You got half the people that wear your shoes. I'm like the older type perspective. I can see the hustle in it, but I don't respect some of the shady tactics that they use to do it.
And like after paying the shoe, it's like, was this even worth it?
Real question, what's the most you ever spent on a Jordan?
I've spent $270, but this was way back.
Really?
Jordan 7 hairs. To be honest, those are the only
yeah.
Jordans I fuck with. If it's 2012 and like before that, that's the only
Yeah.
I'm copping. I've been fucking with New Balance lately.
That's how much I spent on my Concord 11s.
What was it?
It was like $380.
Sheesh! 380 on some damn Concord.
If you guys know the store right next to Santana Row, right across the street from the Best Buy, Kicks, the guy was hella taxing. I was like, hey, how much for those Concord 11s? It was like the 2018 ones. He's like, I can do them for 400. And I was like, okay, no. No way. I bargained him and he was like, all right, I'll give him to you for like 350. And then after tax, it was like 375, 380.
Jeez.
I was like, holy shit. Like, that was the most I've ever dropped on a pair of J's. That's the most I'll ever drop ever. I'm not doing that again. I'm for UAs. You are for authentic sneakers.
I don't care if you have UAs, obviously, but I'm never
Yeah.
rocking no UA unless it's like that Yeezy one we got from the damn Philippines.
Yeah. But then we can both agree that we're not for the resale culture as an investment type.
Yeah, of course. Like, it's such
Yeah.
a dilemma. It's so crazy how like StockX or Go shoe shops or consignment shops, like they create the stock for the shoe. It's
Yeah,
almost like real
freaking-
stocks.
It's like literally a stock market. Last thing before we go to our closing thoughts. Obviously, we all know what happened. If you're in the sneaker community, we obviously all know what happened at Nike. The scam that was going on behind closed doors with the VP and her son. Do you think that there are plenty more out there within the industry copping
Bro.
off their parents' inventory?
Of course, like every big company is corrupt. Like, I don't care. Like, there's always some scam going on, whether it's from the people working or from someone that they know, whether it's like their family or friends. There's always something going on like that.
Marcus Jordan.
Marcus Jordan.
He's been backdooring pairs though.
So let's give our closing thoughts on the current sneaker culture. What do you think will companies do about UAs?
Obviously, with these companies, with like Nike and Adidas and everything, it's all about what makes them the most profit. So I feel like they're still going to cater to the hype and cater to shoes flying off the wall. I feel like it can change if everybody all of a sudden just swaps to UAs and be like, yo, forget this shit. Like, we're just going to just not buy from these scalpers and these resellers anymore. Then I think companies will really start to take notice. Like,
Even if they do make the shoe more available, I feel like it will start to become hella basic. Like, imagine if those black and white SBs, imagine if those were just in the shelves like right now.
it's
It'd
like,
be so basic to cop it.
now I feel you because Nike and them, they know. It's like, you ever see The Incredibles? That line from The Villain.
And when I'm old and I've had my fun, I'll sell my inventions so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super. And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Spitting facts.
I was like, dude, that's so true. Because it's like, what if everybody had a pair of Concord 11s?
No,
Wow.
it's just too weird when everyone is the same. It's
Yeah.
just not right. That's why like these big companies, they don't keep making the same pairs because it's just not right for the culture. Because they'll just die
Right.
out.
The hype is down and there's no reason to buy it if it's so available. Because it's seen as like, oh, it's not that special. I mean, people are still gonna buy shoes regardless, but we're talking about like the majority of the population are gonna cater to like the trends and stuff.
And also, I was thinking that like if they were to make a move about like UAs, they would make like more exotic shoes. Those Space Jam LeBrons right now, that's like pretty hard to replicate because of how exotic it is.
Exactly. Like, they're gonna make it to where it's like people are gonna be intimidated to buy the UA because it might have one too many mistakes on. Or
Oh.
it's like the technology is so new that they can't quite make it to where it's like durable and lasts like the real thing. Even if they have the air bubble, even if they have the foam, and even if they have whatever, the carbon fiber, they have all the materials that Nike uses, but they can't put it together the same way.
It's like the Yeezy 2s. People were trying to replicate that shit, like do their best to make it the best fake possible. You can't do it.
Yeah.
That's why it's so iconic.
I remember that shoe, like everybody was making so many fakes of those, and like you can tell that was even before like UAs was like a thing.
The knockoffs look like a pillow or some shit.
I feel it. See those videos where it's like real versus fake comparison and they have two shoes and it's like, you see there's a little, it's like a centimeter off.
Or you gotta
I'm
check the
just-
tag. You have to actually go inside the shoe. Like, who cares about
They-
the tag?
They did look at the inside of the box. It's like
I know.
the box. Shout out Nightwing2303 if you're watching this. Even he pointed out, it's like, bro, even the retailer pairs are somewhat different to each other. It's like a fingerprint. No exact shoe is exactly the same.
That is true. Like, I saw something on Air Force Ones. There's like 2 different Air Force Ones for the white ones. Just like, what the hell's the difference? Like, one's more whiter than the other.
You can't be like, oh, well, it's supposed to be exactly like this or supposed to be like this. It's like, bro, even the retailers' pairs differentiate from each other. So how the fuck are you supposed to tell like what's like a UA anymore or what's a replica even?
At the end of the day, it's just a shoe. Like in high school, like that shit may not fly. You're out with your girlfriend at the mall, or even like with close friends. Like, who cares, man?
You're at the grocery store.
at the grocery store, like, doesn't even matter.
I sometimes wear my UAs to the grocery stores and people be like, hey, yo, those are sick. Don't even think anything like, oh, is that fake or it's real? It's like, who really cares at this point?
Like what?
Like,
Someone's gonna come up to you and just be like, yo,
those are fake. If you're that guy where it's like, or girl, go up to your friends, it's like, yo, those are so fake. Like the tag is not right, the jump man is off center. It's like, dude, who really cares, bro? Like they just want the shoe. If they're wearing the shoe, that means they bought it because they wanted it, not because they want to sell it or whatever, because it looks dope to them.
And it's like easy access. Like they don't have to pay $400 for some Kobe Grinches when they can just get it for $120.
Do you know how many people bought the UA Grinches?
Friend just showed me a pair of his and they looked okay, I guess. I don't know.
If you were sitting on the sideline and you saw him on the court, like you'd be like, yeah, those are the Kobe Grinches.
Yeah. Like he was showing me like the detailed pictures and like the signature was off. Either way, like who's gonna pay attention to that? No one gives a
Yeah, it's like, bro, you got the Kobe Grinches.
Bro, Kobe would be mad at these big companies because they're not giving his shoes out.
So that's gonna be our episode. That's gonna be our season opener for season 2. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about the sneaker culture, the sneaker game, or about UAs. Maybe if you have any experiences with UAs, or maybe you bought an overpriced shoe, or heck, maybe even if you bought a pair of shoes and ended up profiting off it and selling it. Also, maybe even let us know what your favorite Jordan is or what your favorite sneaker is at the moment.
We're gonna do a poll on Instagram on if you're for the resale culture or UAs.
So that's gonna do it. Episode 2 of the season. We're gonna get to recording that pretty soon, so expect episodes to come out maybe a little more frequently, since now the NBA season's over and we can focus on the topics we want to focus on. That's gonna do it for episode 1 for season 2. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, stay tapped in with us.
Stay tapped in with us. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok.